This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Coming up on Grady Newsource, what the Federal Reserve's decision on interest rates means for the job market and Gen Z workers. Hundreds of students attended a vigil last night to honor the life of Charlie Kirk, hosted by Turning Point UGA. See how students reacted and what they have to say about his death. And ride along with Newsource reporter Lauren Wright to see what an Oconee County deputy experiences on their shift.
I mean, as you can see, he's clearly on the phone. As a matter of fact, let's do this.
That and more on Grady Newsource. Welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Caleb Hensley. For the first time in 9 months, the Federal Reserve cut federal interest rates by a quarter percentage point. The new rate is 4 to 4.25%. The Fed cited slower job gains as one of the reasons for its decision to lower rates. The labor market has not changed much over the last few months, with only 20,000 jobs added in August. Grady Newsource reporter Izzy Farina has details on what the cut means and how it will impact Gen Z workers. Izzy, what does the Fed decision mean?
Caleb, I spoke to Assistant Professor of Finance, Dr. Kayla Freeman, and she told me this cut was pretty standard. It's more about what the Fed will do in the future, whether they will make 2 cuts before the year is over or just 1. The Fed is currently balancing spurring job growth while trying to avoid inflation. And both of these issues, Dr. Freeman says, really hit home for Gen Z.
If anything that supports job growth is probably going to especially help Gen Z. Then on the other hand, because there's always another side to this, the biggest societal concern for Generation Z is the cost of living and prices. So anything that affects inflation will also affect Gen Z even more.
The unemployment rate for 20 to 24-year-olds was up to 9.2% for August, which is higher than the 7.8% rate in July. And Gen Z is definitely feeling the impacts of this higher unemployment rate. Graduate student Lexi Ann Rodkey can speak to this firsthand.
I applied to 70 different postings last year as a senior and got 2 interviews and 0 offers. So then I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to grad school.
Since this cut was pretty customary and widely expected, we won't really be able to see how this will affect us until the Fed's next decision. So Caleb, either way, the effects are going to affect Gen Z the most.
Thanks, Izzy. Turning Point UGA held a vigil of remembrance for Charlie Kirk Tuesday night. Grady Newsource reporter Rebecca Schillinger takes us to the event.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important.
Turning Point UGA hosted a vigil Tuesday night to honor and remember the life of Charlie Kirk, who was shot at the University of Utah's campus while speaking to students during his The American Comeback Tour.
It's just really kind of bizarre to see it happen. 1 second he was here and 1 second he was gone.
Hundreds of students filled the UGA Instructional Plaza. Members of the community were not allowed into the vigil because the event was held for UGA students and members of Turning Point only. Turning Point UGA created a montage of Charlie Kirk. Now, Turning Point UGA hosted this vigil and allowed students into the auditorium if you joined the Turning Point UGA GroupMe or if you brought your student identification card. The president of Young Democrats planned on attending the event, but chapter president of UGA Turning Point, Carson French, recommended that he not show up. Although he did not attend, he condemns political violence.
We are not on a great track if this is the solution to solving political debates.
I fully admit it's not just, right-leaning people who are victims of it. 3 months ago in Minnesota, the Speaker of the House, or the former Speaker of the House, was assassinated in her own bed.
Representative Houston Gaines, who also attended the vigil, said that Kirk's legacy will live on.
To see the students here tonight is really heartwarming, and certainly the impact that Charlie had on these young people is going to be felt for generations to come.
I'm Rebecca Schillinger with Grady Newsource.
A bill introduced in Congress could permit charges against violent groups under a decades-old law. Grady Newsource reporter joins us live in the studio. Ethan, tell us more about this bill.
Thank you, Caleb. Donald Trump recently said in an Oval Office press conference that he was speaking with the Attorney General about using the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, or RICO Act, against groups and organizations accused of violent acts. The RICO Act was first passed in 1970 to combat organized crime. Now, the current RICO Act doesn't include a statute that addresses rioting, but Senator Ted Cruz introduced a bill 2 months ago to add rioting as one of the predicate offenses for RICO. In a press release, Senator Cruz said that the bill would allow the Department of Justice to use RICO tools against organizations and individuals who repeatedly fund or coordinate violent riots. However, First Amendment law experts are concerned this could open the door for the Department of Justice to prosecute groups that peacefully protest, including organizations on college campuses. UGA law professor Claire Norins told Grady Newsource in the email, adding rioting as a predicate offense makes it easier to bring RICO charge against protesters because of how that term can be improperly wielded. For instance, when only a few protesters in an otherwise peaceful group are being disorderly, but everyone present gets accused of rioting, or when protesters react to the police deployment of chemical agents to disperse an otherwise peaceful group, and the resulting chaos is labeled as rioting. The bill has been referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. We'll keep you updated when we learn more.
And today, Georgia Republican Brad Raffensperger is officially in the running for governor. The Secretary of State announced his campaign this morning as someone who will, quote, follow the law and the Constitution. Raffensperger rose to national prominence in 2020 when he defied Donald Trump's call to find the votes to overturn the presidential election. Raffensperger joins 4 other Republican candidates and 6 Democratic candidates. The Keep Oconee County Beautiful Commission works toward keeping streets litter-free. Grady Newsource reporter Lauren Coughlin tells us more about how Oconee County is keeping clean.
In Oconee County, keeping the community clean rests on 3 pillars.
I like to say that those 3 pillars are like art and they're interpretive. So we're charged with ending littering, improving recycling, and continuing to beautify our communities.
Pritchard says the litter index in Oconee County showed its lowest scores in her 9 years as executive director, but the commission continues to push forward towards their goals. The recent tire amnesty program let people drop off old tires at the Highway 441 Waste and Recycling Center without cost. The Environmental Protection Agency says that recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions and harmful effects of waste pollution.
But also, there's more than just littering with tires. You have the health issue of them holding water and mosquitoes breeding, and unfortunately, wasps like those hot black tires and snakes like those black tires. So it's a health issue too.
Outside of these events that the commission holds, there are everyday ways that people can keep their county clean. I'm here at one of the recycling centers in Oconee County where people can learn and do more with keeping their community clean.
The people that come here in the droves of, you might get 50, 60 here a day, so maybe 100 at this facility. The recycling centers are here to keep the trash off the streets. It goes into recycling and repurposed and comes back as plastic car parts, plastic for the iPhones, camera stands, anything that can recycling be used for, it's used for.
People come to this center to make a difference in their community.
That it's as simple as if you pick up 1 piece of litter, if every person picks up 1 piece of litter. So in Oconee County, if every resident, and there's just over 45,000, picked up 1 piece of litter, just 1 piece, that's huge.
I'm Lauren Coughlin with Grady Newsource.
Jerry Greenfield, co-founder of the Ben & Jerry's ice cream brand, has resigned, stating the brand's parent company, Unilever, is stifling employees' abilities to speak out on political topics. Greenfield says, quote, what allowed the company to be more than just an ice cream company was the independence to pursue our values. Coming up after the break, how fully digital Social Security payments are going to impact senior citizens.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
The Dutch.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Your home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order earlier this year that paper Social Security checks would cease to exist as of September 30th. Grady Newsource reporter Abby Halpin tells us how it affects senior citizens.
Beginning September 30th, U.S. residents will no longer receive Social Security checks via snail mail. Anish Sharma, assistant professor of accounting at UGA, says the switch to fully digital deposit is one that is needed.
Now is a good time considering the technology advances that we've had.
Barrow County resident Tony Streets has been receiving payments from Social Security for 13 years, each via direct deposit. For Streets, having direct deposit helps save a hassle of going to the bank.
The easiest way you can get your checks is through the direct deposit.
And even though Street views the online deposit as more beneficial, Professor Sharma says that others may view it as more costly. Professor Sharma says that some may not have an account at the bank, and direct deposit could pose a problem, with fees and minimums adding a cost.
One thing to think about, though, is whether the people who are getting these checks, what access they have to bank accounts.
Sharma says his parents have been receiving checks by mail, but know they can access their account.
They're one of the cases that I think that they'd be fine going to the bank account.
For Streets and Sharma's parents, having Social Security, no matter how it's delivered, is important to their income. And like many, Street has been impacted by inflation and rising prices. Her Social Security checks have helped her make ends meet.
Well, right now it's a second job. So in order for me to just get back up to par.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Abby Halpin.
Less than an hour from our newsroom here at Grady Newsource, Rivian held a groundbreaking ceremony event yesterday announcing their $5 billion manufacturing plant that will be cemented in Northeast Georgia. The state will provide $1.5 billion in aid to Rivian, and the manufacturing site expects to create 7,500 jobs by the year 2030. Vehicle production is expected to begin in 2028. What starts as quiet radio chatter can quickly turn into unpredictable on the roads of Oconee County. Riding along with Deputy Robbie McCannon, firsthand we saw how split decisions from handling a shoplifting arrest to pulling over distracted drivers shape each shift as deputies work to keep their community safe.
It's one thing to see law enforcement from the outside, but another to see it from the passenger seat.
I'm doing a ride-along at Oconee County Sheriff's Office, seeing firsthand what deputies experience every shift. From routine traffic stops to unexpected emergencies, they never know what's coming next, and neither do we.
Quiet when the shift begins, just radio chatter, but deputies never know what the day will bring. Right before I arrived, Deputy Robbie McCannon received a call at Walmart where they reported a man of shoplifting.
He goes into Walmart, he goes by and picks up bags from the bagging area. He purchases a couple things, and then he just goes on a shopping spree. He starts just putting merchandise in a bag and walks out the door with it.
Now deputies are on the lookout for distracted drivers, especially those on their phones behind the wheel.
So I'm going to get him. He's actually on the phone and he's texting the driver. Let your window down.
Deputy McCannon walks me through after he takes the driver's license.
There's nothing on here, so he doesn't have a driver's record. So usually I'll cut him some slack about that.
The day isn't over as Deputy McCannon makes another stop for a traffic violation. That guy was then let off with a warning.
That's okay. I'm not going to write you a ticket, but just don't do that. Yes. Especially right there, we have a majority of our wrecks right there in that spot, okay? As long as you know what you did wrong. Yeah. Yes, all right, well, good. Let me check your license. I'll let you go, okay? All right, give me.
For Deputy McCannon, it's not just about enforcing the law, but about building trust and keeping his community safe one interaction at a time.
Next up, your 5-day weather forecast and a look into how to prepare for COVID season.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
My name is Catherine Young with your weather this week. Looking ahead, Athens residents are in for a warm week ahead. So today we did see a high of 85 degrees, but we're going to have some cooler air rolling in tonight, about 63, but consistently throughout the week, we are seeing these higher temperatures and clear skies. Our highest peak is going to be 90 degrees on Friday, but we do have this pattern of lows coming in at 63 degrees consistently throughout the week. Enjoy the warm weather while we have it, because as September ends, fall rolls around, bringing cool temperatures and unfortunately a peak in illness, such as COVID-19. But getting your vaccine might look a little different this fall. Take a look. The FDA recently approved the newest round of COVID-19 vaccines, but these new vaccines come with new eligibility restrictions.
With the vaccine, they just had to come up with a list of conditions that it's approved for and be able to say this is what it's recommended for. They'll look at studies of the effectiveness of it and the side effects.
Pharmacist Kevin Florence says the average consumer will still be eligible for the newest COVID vaccines.
It was like 22 additional conditions that are approved for it at any age. Pretty common things that cover most everybody.
However, Ashley Chinchilla says the new restrictions will possibly affect insurance coverage as well.
You can still get it if you fall into certain categories because it is FDA approved, but that might impact how you get it and whether or not it's paid for.
Healthcare providers rely on the recommendations of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, the ACIP, which is still discussing policy changes. Chinchilla says that at their meeting on Friday, the ACIP will review and vote on updated COVID vaccine recommendations. When we come back, our sports anchor talks head injuries, the causes, and the symptoms.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woo-hoo. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Hello, everyone. I'm your sports anchor, Tyler Addison. Football season is in full swing, and when the season starts, so do the injuries. In the research that has been done, it was found that repeated concussions throughout adolescence and childhood can lead to serious long-term effects, including effects to mental health and cognitive function. The most important thing to remember is to never hide your symptoms and to make sure to talk to a doctor to avoid further damage. Looking ahead, we have some upcoming UGA games in women's soccer tomorrow, and on Friday, volleyball and men's tennis. Saturday, equestrian, women's golf, and both men's and women's tennis. Sunday, we have soccer, women's golf, and more men and women's tennis.
While sports are important for physical and mental health, with contact sports also comes the risk of injury, especially head injuries like concussions.
Some of the college and the football contact sports, those basketball, soccer, those are more commonly reported concussion. Some common signs and symptoms you do get after concussion is headache, pressure in head, sensitivity to light, dizziness, sort of things, and balance problem.
The idea of getting an injury can be scary, but there are also benefits, although experts say the research is ongoing.
So we think about heart health, we think about decreasing the chances of obesity, and then also we want to think about positives in terms of our bone health, not just for right now, but also as we get older.
At UGA Concussion Research Center, we do have the baseline assessment where after looking at those neurocognitive tests, balance tests, things like that, if we need to monitor a specific individual, well, we discuss with athletic trainers and doctors and our members.
After the break, how Clark County School District is recognizing an elementary school custodian.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Clark County School District named their Employee of the Month for September. Sophia Stafford tells us how a custodian at an elementary school came to earn this award.
Sally Smith, a custodian at Johnny Lee Burks Elementary, came into work as usual when the Clark County School District superintendent approached her.
I'm like, she must be here to talk to the kids. And then she
call my name.
And she announced CCSD had named Smith as the Employee of the Month. Smith felt a flurry of emotions.
I'm nervous, surprised, glad all at the same time.
School nurse Natalie Cadle nominated Smith for the award.
She's a hidden gem. She comes in every day. I mean, I'm like 95% sure she's the first person here.
Cadle says Smith's performance as a custodian is impressive because of her age.
She said, make sure they know I made it. And I'm like, I will.
Smith goes beyond her job of keeping the building clean by offering emotional support to the students.
Well, you know, the little ones, if they're crying or something, you know, I try to kind of help them out and talk to them. Ask them, what's wrong, baby?
Smith also brought new initiatives to the school, like buying blankets for the nurse's office and saving snacks for hungry kids. According to the National Education Association, well over 90% of teachers spend their money on school supplies.
I'm always thinking of what I can do. It's just repetitive every day, usually about the same thing every day. And do I like it? I love being here with these kids. I love it.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Sophia Stafford.
Thank you for watching tonight. We hope to see you when we go live again at 5 on Monday. This is Grady Newsource. I'm Caleb Hensley.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Now we're live. Okay. You come also? Talk to them here. All right, guys. Guys, we're live on air. We want to say welcome to our viewers and thank you for watching us and for supporting us. This was our third live show. We tried a lot of new things. As you can see, our newsroom is transformed because we did our first live shot from the newsroom. We also tried a few more new things. Some of them worked out well, others didn't work out so well. There were a few very, very, very late packages. We did our best, and I think we are learning a lot. I will have Andrew talk to us about a few technical things that are very important that we need to hear about. So you see a lot of our staff behind the scenes, thanks to them. These are volunteers, thanks to them. We are live on air, and they deserve long applause.
There's just a few notes that I want to let you guys know. Just be aware when you are putting things in rundown, just to make sure that you're putting in all of those script templates. I think there was like 1 or 2 slugs that we had where the package cue wasn't in there, so the tech team didn't know when to play that package in the show. So just letting you guys know about that. Audio also sounded good for the most part. There was like 1 or 2 packages where we did have to ride the fader a little bit. I think some of the VOs were just a little bit softer than the other sound bites. And the last thing is just check the focus on your camera. I think there was also a couple of shots where the camera was a little out of focus in the packages, but other than that, I thought everything went well. We had a great live shot here in the newsroom, and
Yep, we had the wrong graphic for Ethan.
Oh,
it played at the
yes.
wrong time in the wrong place. It was the wrong graphic.
That was the other thing.
And so, and yeah, we'll talk about that. I think we needed more visuals. We really needed a sound bite instead of a statement, and it was the wrong statement at the wrong time. But did Ethan put the wrong graphic in the wrong place?
Yeah, so, well, I'm not sure. Whatever graphic was put in for that, that's what we had, and that's what we were told to put up during that segment. So,
and
maybe
it was supposed to be put later, later on. So maybe did he indicate exactly where it should have played?
That I'm going to go back and double check. I'm not sure.
Because it played in the beginning when we needed it, it wasn't
Yes,
there.
Right.
So it was like at the beginning when you started, like an OTS, right in the beginning. And then when you were actually reading the quote, we didn't see anything. And it was the wrong quote. So, and also with sports, I think you were talking about sports that...
Yeah, the cue for the package.
The cue for the package, that was the reason. Where's Tyler? In case you were wondering, the cue for your package was in the wrong place. So we had to wait for you to finish the script and then play it. That was why, just in case you were wondering why it didn't play. In order for it to play in the right place, the cue for the package has to be in the right place. So that was the reason why. And Lauren, it looked like you didn't have, it was the wrong lead, and I want to say kudos to our intrepid anchor. I think he deserves a round of applause, because I don't think viewers revealing behind the scenes, but I don't think anybody realized that he had just a quote from your script instead of a toss to the package, and you were still able to work with this, and was cool and collected, and you had a lot of curveballs till the last moment. You didn't know if the package would be there, you had no lead, but everything came together. But we cannot have late packages like we did today. We managed to handle Lauren's late package and Ethan's late stuff, but you see mistakes happen. And again, Ethan, I know you had a package planned and we turned you around to help us, and you did your best. I know how hard you tried, and we really appreciate everything. It's not, you did your best. But for the future, I don't think we will stick with something that we have no audio and no visuals, because it just doesn't work. We should have had you working on the package that you came very well prepared to do, but kudos to you for trying so hard and working till the last moment to get that. And I think you learned a lot from this. Could happen to you in a real newsroom. You could be turned around. I was telling some of you in the morning that once I had to I had to call a king and reschedule a king because there was breaking news. I was told to turn to the breaking news, so I had to call a king and ask the king's people to tell him that I couldn't interview him because there was breaking news. And so that's what happens in real life. And we appreciate that very much. But is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No. Aside from the things I mentioned, I'd also just want to give a kudos to our tech team. I know Blakely was having to play double role. She was our TD and director today. And we also had a brand new set of volunteers today, and I thought they did a really good job with keeping the show on pace and everything.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But overall, we had a clean show, and good job to you guys. So.
Yes, and good job to you as well. Yeah, I really like the way we opened the show with the soundbite for the first time. Thank you so much, Larry. And thank you so much, Lauren, for providing us such a good. I love the B-roll you provided us and the soundbite, and that made it for a very strong open. And we really, really appreciate that. I appreciate your creativity with the show open. The most important part, so that we make a case to our viewers to please watch us. I thought you had, I loved your ambition to create a show that looked interesting, also visually trying new things like this and a double box. I just really, really appreciated your enthusiasm, your passion. Also the way the two of you worked together was just incredible and impressive, and I want you to share that insight for future producer duos. This is what we want. We want to integrate digital and TV, and you guys took us to the next level of integrating the two roles. I'm so, so grateful and proud. I'm going to let you guys talk in just a second. Yes, Tyler?
Well, I wanted to give a shout out to Laurie because I almost didn't put in my 2-minute package, but at the last minute I asked her, I was like, should I put it in? She was like, you never know what's going to happen. You should put it in.
But it should always be in.
Yeah,
you should never even ask that question. Nobody asks a question whether you should put your 2 or 1 minute sports weather. That's out of the question. That should be out of the question. That should always be there because you never know. That's why we ask for it.
Well, there was a lot of confusion just because I know my short package was actually a little long. So that's why I was kind of like, what should I do?
Yeah.
Shout out to her. She's a good person.
Well, I must say how impressed I am. A lot of people went the extra mile, and you were one of them, and Catherine was one of them, because for the first time, I have never had that. I've taught this class for 5.5 years. I have never had a weather and sports anchor come up with such a substantial package with 2 sources, and that was very ambitious, and I really, really appreciated that. So a lot of people just gave as much as they could, and the fact that certain things, even for Lauren, that was not an easy thing to go on a ride-along and have that ready within a day, within a few hours. So a lot of you were very ambitious and tried your best, and I'm so proud of you because it's just the 3rd live show. And Lauren, this is not a, I don't take this personal. We're just saying that we need to get those packages in time by 4:30 because it's very stressful, and sometimes TriCaster cannot handle a package like that, but it did today, which was great, and I really appreciate your ambition to do that in a few hours and get that package ready. And it was a very interesting addition to our show. So this critique is meant with a lot of love and the best of intentions, so don't take it personal. It's just for us to learn. Izzy, your lower third had no byline. Where's Izzy? Your lower third, I noticed, says byline. There's no byline.
What lower third?
In your package, in your soundbite. Yeah. So
The first one or the second one?
I think it was the first one. That's okay. You did a great job, a great graphic, love the student soundbite, and you managed to work our top story and start from scratch in the morning, and that was quite impressive that you managed to get that done. But you also got lucky that somebody really responded and gave you an interview, which is wonderful. Really want to commend Becca. That was quite remarkable what she did. That was not easy. I worried about her because I worried for her safety. I didn't know. She was, she went there. And Becca, tell us how you took care of your security. You went there, you weren't alone.
Yeah, I went with one of my guy friends, and we just went in there together. I planned everything ahead, so I know certain media was turned away for the event. Sorry. Certain media was turned away from the event, but I planned ahead to where I was able to get in. And then other than that, once I was in there, it was easy to get what I needed done, especially with Houston Gaines. I had to chase him out of the building during the vigil, but I mean, other than that, I did bring a friend and everything was fine.
But it was a challenging piece because you had to have the sensitivity, the right tone. You managed to get also a representative of the Young Democrats to respond. And this wasn't easy. This wasn't easy. And it was an important story. You found it. You did it. And I really, really appreciate all the hard work that went to do this. And I'm glad that everything was, you were safe. But it was an unpredictable situation. Yeah. Abby, it's just great. I push Abby a little bit, and boy, does she deliver. She found that amazing news peg, you know, that to her story, which, you know, we were talking about, we need a news peg. I mean, people get their Social Security checks every month. What's new? And she found this news peg that for the first time, at the end of this month, people will start getting their Social Security only electronically. And for elderly people, they're used to paper. And so it turned out to be a very, very important and newsy piece. So always look for what's now, what's happening now, your news peg. Oh, Catherine, did you manage to, where were you? Oh, she left. Okay. Yeah, she told me she would leave. Yeah, because at times we didn't see her. Yes, I'll talk to her about that. Jordan, why did what happened to the package? It was early, edited and everything?
I had it, but then my computer took 30 minutes to
Process it, or?
Yeah. And so I should have had it done by 4, but I didn't have it done until 4:30. So then it didn't upload in time.
So, Andrew, do you have any suggestions? We don't want to lose a package like that for Jordan. What suggestions do you have?
I'll take a look at it afterwards and see what I can find.
Thank you. Yeah, we need to help you get those things done because your script was early, it was in there, we copy edited it, and I just hated not to see it. So talk to Andrew and see what help he can give you. And Sophia also, another nice package, dynamic B-roll, great graphic. Just a little less headroom for Smith, I was thinking, although I love the way you placed her, it was so colorful. And it was just like that was an amazing package. It just warms your heart, this woman. The custodian is spending her own money to buy stuff for the school kids. And she was just incredible. And that was a wonderful, wonderful story for us to have in our show. So I think I mentioned the things I wanted to mention. Again, having said all of this, it's so early on. I'm so proud of you guys. Don't forget Monday to bring your best game, as you usually do, because I'm not going to be doing the critique. We'll have recruiters who'll be watching you and critiquing you. So over to you guys, to the dynamic duo on fire today. Really proud of you.
I want to give my shout out to Laurie because I feel like I learned so much from her today. But what Professor V was kind of talking about was just like a piece of advice for the next people who are doing digital and TV. Just to if you guys can meet 10 minutes before the meeting, so the digital producer can talk to the TV producer about trends, and then the TV producer can talk about vision, because I feel like that really helped us when we got to the meeting, because we already knew what our 2 stories were going to be, and we were kind of thinking through who we were going to turn around. And I also want to shout out Izzy and Ethan, because I know that you guys were on a rough deadline today. So thank you guys for being so willing to be turned around, because they were 2 important stories, and I thought that they, despite everything, still went really well. So thank you guys, and thank you, Laurie.
I also wanted
We were also talking about at the end of our meeting, digital, either producer or content, looking at what the top trending story was so that we can continue to push that forward as we go into the next day. I wanted to remind of that because I think that could be a really cool idea at the end of the day to come back to what was successful.
Yeah, the audience is really important. And we used to do that in the morning meetings. We used to do the audience, the analytics of our audience, but the meetings got to be so long that I decided not to do this, to just stick with the trends. And the way to bring in the audience analytics would be nice during post-show critiques, what to look ahead, for us to hear from the digital producer, what are the big trending stories that we should be developing? So that was another great idea that came out of these two amazing producers.
I wanted to shout out, people keep saying that I did a really great job and I was creative, but I only got to do that because so many of you guys were game to try something new, especially Izzy, Ethan, even Becca. You guys were quick turned or had something that I asked you to do that was different or special, and you all did it. You were just like, let's do it, let's try it. So I think that's more impressive. So thank you.
Totally agree. So guys, do you have anything else you'd like to share? Or should I?
My one thing that should have improved upon, I felt very confident in all my reporters and had a few things not come the way they were supposed to come. So when y'all produce, have way more readers than you think you need, because I thought I was good to go. I thought it was over 2 minutes and things happened, so.
Yeah, we lost the package,
Yeah.
Jordan's package. So actually the show was light because we didn't have enough content because you lost one package. That's why your show has to be heavy. You have to assume the worst case scenarios that you will lose a package. And so always have about 2 minutes that you have floated before you walk into the control room, and you can unfloat different pieces during the show. And but all in all, I thought you did an amazing job, and we're here to learn, and we're here to learn when things go not quite as we planned. There's no other way we can learn. If everything goes as planned and we don't actually experiment or try to be more bold, just to make sure that everything is going to be right. So what you tried was bold, it was experimental, and it worked to the best of our abilities at this point. It's just the third live show. So Jackson County Pioneers, what was your adventure today, and are you ready with an outline for me to look at?
Yeah, we wanted to meet after since we.
Okay, wonderful. Any insights you'd like to share?
Just be prepared, honestly, for like a lot of no. A lot of people will talk to you, but sorry. The hardest part is just getting people to agree to being on camera. So we were making a joke that we did a lot of soliciting today. We're kind of just hanging out in public areas like, hey, will you talk to us? And then they're like, yeah. And then we're like, how about on camera? And then they're like, no. So, I mean, as long as you're like resilient and like truly listening to the few people that may be willing to be on camera, then you should be able to get something.
And where did you guys find the most people? Where did you find that people gather? Because that will be a challenge for the future teams. Where exactly to place that camera where they can actually talk to real people, because we're all in our cars and there are very few public spaces that people meet during the day.
Yeah, so we had good luck at some of the downtowns. Definitely rely on the people who kind of have stakes in these areas, like they own businesses. A lot of the people we talk to are business owners, people that live there because they've invested like owning something there. And then I would say outside of that, yeah, just other places downtown, you may catch like the lunch rush. And so just grabbing someone who's going to lunch, trying to say in the most annoying way if they can give you 10 minutes of their lunch
Of their
time.
lunch break,
Yeah,
okay.
so, I mean, just like being willing to, you can't have to be shy. There's no time to be shy. But I know in other places, there's definitely more. Jackson doesn't have very many marketplaces, and it doesn't have very large downtown. So I think if your county has a large downtown like Athens, or even like several marketplaces like Oconee, then you should be maybe a little bit better off.
All right, guys, well, Anybody? I see a lot of tired faces, so bless you, bless you. Anybody else wants to share something, has a question?
A little bit to that. When you talk to people, even if they're not willing to be on camera, often they can point you to where more people will be. That was one thing in the this week that I noticed on both days was we would reach a dead end and then we'd be like, well, where would other people be? Where are people we can talk to? And they'll be like, oh, you know, there's a coffee shop that people go down to at around this time. Like, people know where they live. We don't know where they live completely, so asking people where people are is more successful than you might think.
Excellent advice. And Caleb, our intrepid anchor, would you like to say something? I really think you did a great job.
Thank you. I know Lauren got her package in like last minute, and I know that she probably didn't like write an anchor lead, but what she put down was like as helpful as it could have been. I just had to replace like 2 words, so that kind of goes like, you said something about that earlier. I think that's more kudos to her for like thinking that intelligently that fast. So yeah. Other than that, thanks.
That was so nice of you to say. And Lauren deserves that, yeah. Grab a mic.
I just wanted to let you all know that the 2 doctors I talked to, they both said they were open to doing future interviews with other reporters. So
Put their numbers in the contact sheet.
yeah, so just wanted to let you guys know that you have 2
Guys, when you have some good contacts, put them in the contact sheet, pay forward because other people did that for you. So always put that contact's name and help those who come after you. Thank you, Tyler. That's a great idea. All right, guys. Great work. Looking forward to Monday. And I'm really proud of all of you. So even though I had something to say, I'm still incredibly impressed with all of you. Thank you. And thank you, Lauren. That was a very nice package as well.